What's up, marketers? Welcome to my channel. My name is Dara Denny, and I'm the director of paid social at a leading advertising agency where I manage Facebook ad accounts that spend anywhere from $50K to $1 million in ad spend per month. Now, one of the most common questions I get is, how did I become a full-time media buyer? And to be honest, it's kind of a wild story, and I really enjoy telling it because I think it shows that any person from any kind of background, history, or education can have a fulfilling, meaningful career and frankly make lots of good money. So not many people know that before I was a digital marketer / media buyer, I actually worked internationally with NGOs, and it was my dream to become a humanitarian. And something I've said in a few interviews is that I'm a humanitarian turned educator turned marketer, and this is what I mean by that. So I actually spent the first 4 years of my career working internationally with NGOs that were based out of West Africa, India, and Egypt. And it was actually in Cairo that I had a massive change of heart about being an aid worker, because I felt like I actually wasn't helping anyone. I didn't feel like my work had a purpose, and I feel like my work didn't matter. So I decided I wanted to become a journalist and tell stories that matter. At that time, I had a few articles that were published in Egypt, and I really wanted to follow that through a little bit more. So I ended up walking into the biggest English-speaking publication that was in Cairo at the time. And this is kind of where I feel like I met my destiny in a way. I spoke to the CEO of that publication, and she took one look at me and said, "You know what? I think you should work in their social media agency." And to be honest, I was so thrilled to have a job that wasn't in education that I decided to just accept on the spot. And for this job, I was an account manager for really big social media accounts. So I did everything from creating the content calendar, spearheading the creative direction, managing the photo and video shoots, copywriting, and then of course, managing the client relationship. But after a while though, I actually felt like I wanted to take it to the next level. I was really excited about having this career in marketing, and I wanted to go back to New York and break into that market because I knew I would kill it. So on a visit back to New York, I actually ended up getting a job at a PR firm, and I learned so quickly that I was not cut out for PR. I was really excited about creating stories for the clients that I worked with, but I was not cut out for building those relationships with journalists. And frankly, I ended up getting fired at the job less than 3 months after I started, and oh, I was gutted. That day, I walked all the way home to Brooklyn from the West Village completely in my feelings. And I was unemployed for about a month or two when I ended up answering a Craigslist ad to be a marketer for a tech startup in Brooklyn. That's all it said. And this is the place actually where I ended up having my first introduction to Facebook ads and to media buying. And you know, in the long run, it's such a long story. That business ultimately wasn't sustainable, and as quickly as we grew, we crashed and burned. But this experience really solidified this drive to grow businesses, particularly through Facebook ads and email marketing. And I found that I had a real knack for both of these things in particular. So I started taking on small clients here or there for any kind of odd marketing job that I could get. So I did SEO projects, I took on small Facebook ad accounts, I did organic social media, I did CRO projects on websites, I did SEM, and I built out brands' email marketing and newsletters. And so in essence, I did a little bit of everything. And the place that most excited me, and I was frankly the best at, was Facebook ads. You know, I felt like I had a really good handle on creating cool, engaging ads. And I think this stems from my experience in Cairo working on the organic side, but I also felt like I was able to target the right people at the right time. So the way that this all played out was I ended up balancing a full-time job as a growth marketer with all of this extra freelance work. So almost every single day I would work my 9 to 5 and then go home and then work from about 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. every single day. And on the weekends, I just stayed in bed and worked most of the day and would see my friends in the evening and then wake up a little hungover and then start it all again. So it was just a mess and not sustainable. And I realized, I didn't want to put myself through that anymore. I wanted to focus solely on Facebook ads. So I started looking around for jobs that would allow me to do just that, which is how I found Fetch and Funnel, my current agency. And frankly, the rest is history. I've been able to move up pretty quick at the agency. I originally just got hired as a digital ads manager and then moved up to senior account manager and then to director of paid social. And a lot of people ask me how I got my job at Fetch and Funnel, which was fully remote before remote was the norm, and in essence, how I became that full-time media buyer. And there are two major things I did that definitely set me apart from other people that were applying and were ultimately the reason why they decided to take a chance on me. And one of those things was I sent them real screenshots of actual accounts that I was working on and what those results were, and I walked them through those. Additionally, I also had a little marketing blog at the time, which no longer exists. But what I would do for fun is I would have a few drinks and then do a teardown of a brand's entire marketing funnel. It was just kind of a fun way for me to talk about marketing. A few people, it got a little bit of traction, mostly from the people I would do the teardowns at, because they would see it in their social media feeds. But I know that this blog was one of the reasons why Fetch and Funnel hired me, because they knew how I thought about marketing, how I thought about Facebook ads, and also how I approached other channels like email and website. My two biggest pieces of advice for people who want a full-time media buying job are these. Number one, get as much experience as you can in any way that you can. I know the big problem in our industry and any industry is that you have to have experience to get experience. The reality is you have to take on small projects and work your way up and get people to take a chance on you. I have a video that's going to point you in the right direction on some of that, and it's also going to show you some of the places where I got my first gigs managing accounts for Facebook ads, so definitely take a look at that. And the second piece of advice I have is to produce content so that people can know that you know their stuff. This helps exponentially. So start a Twitter and then get engaged with other media buyers, write a blog, or even start a YouTube channel. Please start a YouTube channel. There are not enough media buyers on YouTube, and there are way too many dropshipping bros that don't actually know what they're talking about. And to be honest, this channel is one of the best things I've ever done for my career, and I fully believe that there is enough room on this platform for talented people in our industry. So I would love to have more media buyers doing this kind of content with me. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, my journey isn't over. I feel like I'm relatively early in my career, even though it feels like a lot longer because, I didn't start out in marketing. But I'm really excited for what's next, and I'm really excited to see also what's next with this channel. I think it's really opened up a lot more opportunities for me in terms of speaking engagements and also connecting with other business owners like yourselves and other media buyers like yourselves. So if you have any questions more about my journey, feel free to leave me a comment below or at me on Twitter. I'm really active in both of those places, and I'd love to just connect with other business owners and media buyers. Okay, guys, thanks. Bye.